Hello dear friends and welcome back to the channel. It's the weekend, and on the weekend I like to do more like historical MCOC stuff, deep dive into some random areas of the game and talk about my own kind of particular progress. So what's this weekend bring as a story? Well, story time is all about Alliance Wars. As a lot of you know, over the years I've been quite vocal in my displeasure for Alliance Wars. It actually turns out, by the way, that it's 2 years, around about 2 years, that I've not done Alliance Wars seasons, rather than what I said. I think it was like 3 years, so it's 2019. So I think it was definitely like in an early like 20, like late 2020 kind of area going into 2021. So I want to say about 2 years. So let's say about years without Alliance War seasons. So I'm currently in my second war coming back, or first season war. Well, technically first season war because, you know, this is the scuff. We got a little bit scuffed with this, and that's basically like banned champions were able to be used. For me, the kind of like thoughts on the mode as well is I'm still the same in feeling towards it. I will have a full opinion by the end of it. But I will say that I just find it a bit kind of like taking too much from different types of game modes and essentially just adding extra levels of complexity in order to, I don't know who it's appeasing with this particular game mode or who it's kind of like put interest. Like, I like the idea of like the band stuff, but I kind of like that for Battlegrounds. It just feels like what we're doing is we're kind of like we're taking little bits from different areas and removing the unique elements of things like Battlegrounds, because it's like, well, it's in Alliance Wars. And then we've got like other things as well, like, well, that's kind of in Alliance Wars now. So I don't like the way that we're kind of we remove originality, uniqueness from other bits of modes and content, but that's just what Kabam are trying to do. They're trying to potentially, as I used to say, this is polishing a turd, but maybe it's a case of like it's trying to add extra bits of complexity on a bang average game mode to then allow it to have more of a lifespan potentially. But people still like it, and that's good in some ways. But then I like the idea of having something new, and that's another thing as well. Like, it's what, 6 years of Alliance Wars, or maybe 5 years of Alliance Wars. Like, after 5 years, you kind of think, well, isn't it like time for something new Alliance related? Alliance Quest has been 6 years, so it's like, or 7 years even, so it's like I kind of feel like it's time for something new in the Alliance field to kind of do as a team. And we talked about that Alliance raid idea like a little bit of a time ago. And yeah, to go to get a little bit kind of further in, like we've got the bands thing, it's kind of the thing for Battlegrounds. We've got the hashtag interaction thing, which is kind of like a variant based kind of thing, and also what seems to be going into Cavalier difficulty nowadays in order again to spice that up. There's some interesting stuff here and there, and I guess that's the thing about creating counters. One of the first things I kind of like experienced when going in was spending about 30 minutes going like, okay, well, here's a node that I'll be potentially going into fight against. Here's a list of counters, but then I'm like, I'm specifically taking like one counter from there because the champion that's on that particular node for a counter is going to be suppressing one champion that I've got as a counter's element. And that then I have to then say, right, okay, if I take two champions for that particular interaction, for whatever reason I need to do, I don't know, a Magneto, white Magneto to cheese it, I'll then need to find another champion in order to bring in for the node interaction or a further path when I take the second path, when I go off to that, and maybe like another champion within those three champions that I've selected in order to take on maybe a kind of a pre-path champion to face off against. Breathe, and that's one of the reasons like I didn't decide to kind of like do this game mode. I already have enough kind of like pressures to kind of like get the right team going into certain bits of content. It's now exactly the same where I'm like, dude, if I make a mistake, then it's kind of costly. Granted, like, the Alliance are very good. Like, the Alliance that I'm in, Priests, Odin 2, are very kind of good at the less stress elements to this, and we'll be like, look, if you die, you die. Like, who cares? We're not really kind of doing this too competitively, especially because you can see on screen right now we run 2 battle groups because, look, not all and everybody in the Alliance want to do Alliance Wars. And I guess this kind of comes to a point of like, why did I return back to play this game mode, which I've had a lot of criticism about in the past? Well, sadly, Kabam are to blame for this, and that is the extent of the loyalty store. Let's face it, nowadays, when it comes to getting up to Paragon or getting something that's going to be helpful for your roster that's outside of the stretch of say the rewards that you get from alliance wars, loyalty is very important. And with the less stress element that the alliance have when, you know, it comes to wins and losses, it means that I don't have to invest, I potentially don't have to invest any of my loyalty into this particular game mode. There is another kind of caveat and a problem with that one, which I'll explain in a minute, but having access to, when it gets to Paragon, there will be more from the loyalty to kind of like grab. But if I'm getting about 30k plus loyalty per war, and I'm doing, you know, 30 wars, you can do the maths. It's at some stage going to be beneficial for me to buy something like tier 3 alpha fragments, or it's buying my my tier 5, not tier 5 basic fragments, tier 6 basic fragments as well. And I get the choice. Like, I'm really close to the choice. As I said, like recently, like my choice to get Paragon is either going to be I buy something from the loyalty store, which is possible very, very soon, because I think it was on like 500k like loyalty the other just before like the I started doing wars, as I said, second war, like, and then there's going to be either Grandmaster Gauntlet, the side quest, Eternity of Pain rewards. Like, I could become Paragon by any means that I want to at this given stage. It's a lock because I've got the EOP rewards coming in, but if I want to do anything else, I could literally just kind of buy one of these and it's like boom, Paragon. Like, so that's another thing as well. So what's the secondary? There's a secondary problem with this, and that is Alliance Quest tickets. As you know, when it comes to Alliance Quest tickets, they cost stuff. Currently, for me, I'm in a difficult quandary position. I'm currently using my gold because I'm basically arena grinding more because I'm non-spending. So I'm getting more gold more frequently. So it means that I'm using that to buy the tickets, which isn't very good towards the end of an AQ cycle. But I definitely don't want to be spending any of my loyalty because, again, that kind of like impacts on things. Because I'm not using, as I said, I'm not using my loyalty to invest in boosts or anything that's going to be for Alliance Wars. I'm strictly, because again, the Alliance is stress-free, we've got that option to kind of like buy with loyalty. I can buy some nice stuff in it that I need to help myself out and top up on that. So it is a case like I'm going mainly gold. I'm saving my battle chips because that's going to be all about me investing that into trying to get more units for Cyber Weekend. So I don't really feel like I want to go too heavy with that. But as I said, gold I got a lot more of, and I've got methods in order to kind of like get gold, keep up my gold kind of supply, which it does fluctuate, but it's like as soon as I get like 1 mil, which I've got right there, level ups on it this time, I'll sink 1 million gold into a level up, a rank up, whatever, and then I'll be back to square one. Then I'll get into arena, then I'll go and grind up some more another content, then I'll 100% Cavalier, blah, 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 and then the process continues on and do incursions. So sadly, I've got to grind more content, and that's the thing I need to kind of get to, is like, the why is answered by, sadly, more activity with content grinding. Let's face it, MCOC is a very grindy game. There's other very grindy games that I was looking to kind of rotate, especially on the second channel, but I've had to kind of like, for now, just kind of limit down what I play. So currently on the second channel, which, you know, is not an extensively grindy game, is Fall Guys. Like, I really enjoy Fall Guys. I'm really good at it, and that's kind of like, that makes it a benefit in order to kind of make content on it and stuff. And I kind of play it for fun. Like, I have fun playing the game. Not to say I don't with MCOC, but the point I'm getting to is like, having time to grind games is going to be important. Like, I wanted to play Disney's Mirrorverse, and I played it for a little while, but I've kind of felt like I need to kind of invest a lot of time into it, and I just don't have the time. In and around working for FSG, like, it's just trying to balance in time factors to this. But with MCOC, I've had to increase my arena grind in order to get gold and also units. I've had to increase time into things like incursions, which I didn't normally do because, you know, it's again, it's time factor, like 2 to 3 hours of work in incursions over the course of maybe a month, maybe even like upwards of 4 hours to get like milestone resets. And also, you know, doing Alliance Wars and some other bits of content grinding that I didn't normally plan. It kind of like increases my grind in MCC. Not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, when you're trying to kind of balance your life around stuff, it can be a bit much. Yeah, you could have a fine balance for these things and adding it into it. And I think having the 2 battle groups and also like less stress has really kind of helped, you know, with just mediating those that particular grind habit that I have with this game. You might think as well, like I might have kind of missed out rewards. Well, rewards, to be honest, don't really make a difference on the extent of like where our alliance is. As we said, 2 battle groups, less stress. It's a nice chill alliance. We've got at the moment, I think in the last month, which I've just last few days, I learned that we've got MCOC Shays coming to the alliance and Killer Beezy. So it's nice to have you know, both of those in, and also kind of, you know, we're just chilling and kind of doing less stress at this particular level. I think we finished around about like gold 2, gold 1. So look, I'm not kind of like going like, oh my god, mega stuff, but it's important as well because the gallon and quicksilver crystals I'm saving up for, and even if we get 10 or 15k 6-star shards, is like, it's something. And at the moment, as I said, like it's good to at this point come back light into you know, Alliance Wars, kind of feel out the mode. And as I said, there's things I like about the mode, there's things that I don't like about the mode, and sadly the things I don't like about it kind of outweigh it. But I think that's just down to like Kabam's performance with it. The seasons are not smooth, there's bugs Kabam refused to address or kind of keep silent on, and it's a case that without the banning issue, that which is, you know, affecting at this particular point, there was like the enlistment bug, there was the war rating bug of last season, and these things like were, regardless of the war enlistment things, some stuff just goes unaddressed. That's, yeah. So that becomes incredibly disappointing for this particular subject. But as I said, I'm back to do this and see how it goes. I probably won't be doing content on it, like releasing any video apart from this one to say like the reasons for me returning, talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly with it. But yeah, loyalty is one of the biggest reasons to get me back interested in it. And that's probably the main reason that I'm coming back to do Alliance Wars. And also the shards. For shards, I think it's secondary to that because of the gallon and quicksilver crystals. And in any case, we end the video by asking a question. Put it in the comment section. Have you kind of recently given up on Alliance Wars? Have you joined a lower Alliance War group? Have you also found out a problem with the rating matchmaking as well? How fair is matchmaking? That's another thing I'm kind of interested in. You know, are you sick of, as a lower alliance, seeing like rank 3 6-star champions on paths? You're like, well, this isn't fair. And should there be a matchmaking change to kind of reflect the defense first? And that's what you kind of do. You put a defense in and then you match, which I think is actually an interesting concept and idea. But in any case, that has been the video. Thank you very much for watching. Check out some other content which will be located on screen for your delectation. And I shall see you in the next video whenever that will be. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.